Morning everybody. Well, instead of giving you the sun, I'm giving you the moon. The moon is beautiful and full on its way down. It looks like the sea is still angry. We'll find out shortly. Alright, so it is the morning after. You can see there's still a relatively large swell running and the energy is still pretty high. Just zoom out there, capture those moments out there. But the high tide that was early morning has definitely had an effect, and you can see how all the reeds, the debris has been washed over the top here, and there's plenty of water lying around. You can see down there, and you can see the definite watermark that, or defined watermark, as the water's rushed over and created all these little pools of water lying all over the place here at the back. So she did wash up nicely over the top, and we'll go now and have a look what it looks like at the mouth. See here the flow is coming through pretty strong. It is the rapids here where it's colliding with the seawater. Watch out, it's slowing down this wave completely. Now that flow is still strong. It's still strong. Arrived now at the mouth, and I'm just north a little bit of the pinnacle. You can see there on the left, that's the Amphalosi. As I scan around, so you'll see the old cliffs, inverted commas once again folks, but there's a lot of foam on the bank on the other side, which indicates that there was a fair amount of water that came over the top. But what is happening now is that sand bank is growing big time. So generally with a big south and these big seas, it'll push sand over the top here. And that's what's happening. And if I go around more, I'm heading north now, filming the southern sandbank. You can see the foam lying on the top there. It's very shallow, and so that bank is growing and growing and growing. And this is where it could become a problem, because now if you look here, this looks very shallow. All of this water here, almost shallow enough to walk across. And that's the sand that will clog it up. I'm going to go down. You can see all along there it's still sand. All the way along that little section right down the bottom. That is where the fresh water is flowing out. It's creating a bit of like a rapid. Let me zoom in there. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Over there. That's where the fresh water and the seawater join. So I might go down there and just test it and see if I can walk across. But it's not to say that it will close. Remember, the flow is pretty strong, and the black Amphalosi is still flowing strong, and I'll share you a video that Johan sent to me that shows that it's still bank to bank, the Amphalosi, which means there's still plenty of water coming. And the key is the sea sand shifts much easier than clay, so it can still push the sand away. But yeah, as I've said many times before, interesting times ahead. Interesting times ahead. I'll just give you basically a 180 to finish off. moon at the top there. So now I've come further down to where the fresh water and the salt water join. And you can see this flow is very strong. This flow will just erode away this beach sand, and it will be a channel shortly. If I have the time, I'll come down on the low tide and show you what I mean, because this flow is so strong that it'll just move all this beach sand. Oh, look at that sky. I'm just going to ride back like this so you can see how far this channel has grown. Like we've been saying all along, at the winter time it's going to head north, and I reckon it's probably at least half a kilometer from where just left at the pinnacle to the where the water is actually mixing with the sea. See, yeah, still going. But oh my word, the water is moving at a pace. You can see the sea is still large. Running along, I reckon, a surfer's dream. So I've come down on the low tide, and when I see this, I'm going like, how can you even think that the mouth is going to close? And the speed of which this water is traveling is just phenomenal. And hopefully you're going to get a good idea of the speed. And just like I mentioned this morning when it was a little fuller, that it's going to gouge, it's going to erode this beach sand. It's just crazy. Actually quite a phenomenal sight to watch. It really, really is flowing strong. But now on the low tide you can clearly see that bank that I've been talking about all the time, that has been growing. But as I say, when I see the speed of this, I can't see it closing this year. Might be wrong, I might be wrong, but what I'm looking at now, whew, this is extremely strong and looks amazing. So the surfer dudes, I'm sure they'll be pretty happy to climb onto that, catch that little wave, and it'll just stay there. But let me just zoom across right to the end. Incredible. And let's see if I get a chance to come down on the high tide. Let's see if I can come down later on. The surf is still quite big. So I'm now at the pinnacle, and you can see St. Lucia at the back there. Even though it's low tide, I think it's because of the pressure from the sea, even though it's low and high energy, it's holding the water back a bit, so you can't actually see the clay banks. But the chaps are fishing here. Not sure how much success they've had, but yeah, in the mouth area, or the, what can I call it now, the source, the pinnacle, let's use the pinnacle. It's really calm, beautiful for fishing here today. But you can see also how wide it is. It's very wide. I reckon this is at least 100 meters across to the other side there. But as I said earlier, it could also just because of the force from the high energy of the sea. Still really interesting.